Hey Lawrence, Chris here to talk about a book. I know I haven't done that in a little while on this channel, but I'm talking about the book Note to Self by Franta. This is Franta's second book. I read his first book, A Work in Progress, and absolutely loved it. I was very surprised by how good the book was and some of the life lessons that you get out of a book from a person who's a lot younger doing a memoir style book, and I was just very surprised by that when I read that book. This book is very different from that one, and I also really like this a lot as well. I feel like Connor's artistry very shines through in this book a lot, with the photography, which is just really fantastic. Midway through this book, I had to check and see if I was following his Instagram, because I was his photography is just amazing in this book. Some of the photos in here are just brilliant. I like the way that they were kind of connectors between the passages. You'd be reading a passage, and then you hit a photo that was somewhat related to what we just saw, or going to be related to the thing in the future, or just connected the two, and it was just so beautiful. And these photos were stop and stare photos. You have to stop and look at them a little bit and just enjoy how wonderful they are, instead of books where there's photography in it and I'm just okay, let me just go to the next passage, which is kind of a thing for readers, I think, feel like sometimes. But the photos in here are just brilliant. Connor also experiments with poetry a bit, and there's definitely some very heart-grabbing poetry. I feel like he does such a good job with these poems, and poetry's not easy. As a person with a creative writing major who went in for fiction but had to take poetry classes as well, poetry's not an easy task for everyone. I feel like Connor's poetry in here is just very, very, very good. Some of it's very brilliant and well-timed, and the pacing and everything about it's just really, really good. So I really loved the poetry. I was I could totally see him doing a whole poetry book, and I would totally read it. That was something I would definitely buy. So I really like the poetry as well. Some of the topics this book hits on is where it kind of pulled me in the most, what I really liked about it the most. I would say my least favorite passage probably was the letter to his younger self, but I think it's great. A letter to your young self is a great idea. I just seen it done in different ways before, and I don't know, it was a little bit long. I think the letter was just a little bit long. It was a pretty long letter, and I feel like it could have been cut down a little bit. So that's probably my least favorite passage. But the entirety of this book, I was very intrigued and pulled in, and then we got to the heartbreak. Connor talks about his first experience with heartbreak in a gay relationship, and also I gotta say it was very relatable, talking about how his growing up in the Midwest and how he dated girls and all this stuff and didn't really get a chance to have a real relationship with a guy until later. That's always relatable, I feel like, because I didn't start dating until college. I did not seriously, at least anyway, and I didn't really have those type of experiences in high school. I didn't date girls or anything like that, but still it was relatable experiences. Him talking about discovering himself and going through that was really good. But his talking about experience with heartbreak, I feel like that's something a lot of people have experienced, and I feel like it was just the emotions there were so raw and well done and just so real, and I just really, really like that part so much. And also that the book doesn't stay in this kind of deep sorrowy thing. From there, he does try to look for the hope, and you definitely get a kind of a hopeful vibe later in the story. But when he was talking about the experience, the poems around that experience that are written there, the photos there are just really, really, really fantastic, and I really like that a lot. He also talks a bit about depression, and I like that this book touched on a real person's experience with depression, with counseling, with their mental health, because I'm always interested in seeing more on that, especially in nonfiction. I really like that a lot as well. So yeah, I ended up giving the book 5 stars like I did the previous book. I really enjoyed it. I think the photos maybe I might like this one a little bit more because of just the whole feel of the book, and as I was going through it and feeling so much. There's literally a point in the book where I talk about how I'm very emotive when I read, and so I need to read by myself usually. There's a point in the book where I literally screamed because I was just feeling it and relating to it so much, and I just had to just let it out. Oh my god. And then just clutch the book. That's the thing that I do. I can't ever mimic it to show you guys, but it's just something that I do. I'm very emotive when I read. I talked about reading a book in the past and doing it in a hotel lobby and getting asked to move. Well, this time I was in my apartment, so it was fine. But yeah, this book I was emoting a lot. I was definitely making sounds probably and just just feeling things because the way the Connor writes this. So this is a really good book. It's a nonfiction book written by a gay male. If you're looking for some queer nonfiction, which I know some people were looking for last month when we were doing the LGBTQIA readathon and some other readathons last month, I think the Connor Francis book is definitely one that you should check out and would enjoy. So yeah. That's going to be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you read the book, you should tell me what you thought of it in the comments down below. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye.